93, everybody. Now, what am I trying to say here today? I'm not trying to say that drugs should be legal per se, but I'm saying that there would be significant social benefits to their decriminalization. This is a complicated topic, and it's very difficult to find a person who is articulate and has a nuanced opinion about it. Roughly half of the discussion asserts that you will be lost for life if you ever try any kind of drugs, and the other half of the discussion seems to assert that whatever their drug of choice is some kind of magic elixir that cures everything and makes your life perfect. Neither of these perspectives is particularly engaging or informative. I think it seems reasonable that there should be some kind of a license to do certain drugs, just to go through the motions of proving that you know what the drug is and what it does to you and what effects to expect and what the consequences are. I don't think that's unreasonable at all. If a person can show that they know what they're doing, then there's no reason to stop them from doing it. You're not really protecting anybody. The reasons not to waste time and money on the prosecution of small-time drug offenders in the Western world are absolutely staggering. Criminal organizations all over the world would suffer immeasurably from the decriminalization of drugs in the West. This could strike a real, serious blow against human weeds that leech off society worldwide. Drugs manufactured in Peru, Afghanistan, and Lebanon, and other countries whose governments are destabilized by organized crime are sold in the US, Canada, and Great Britain for profits for organized crime in all of these countries. At the same time, most people in the West who suffer the legal consequences of the drug enforcement policies are recreational users and small-time dealers. And the criminal organizations that de facto run the show in these destabilized countries keep those countries destabilized. They thrive on conflict and human misery, not just directly involved with the drug trade, but by that of sustaining a black market enterprise of this worldwide scope. Tragic things happen when drugs are used by people who don't understand what they're doing or the consequences of their actions, whether they're children or misinformed adults. These things should never take place, but there's no reason to criminalize drugs themselves if the persons doing them are fully aware of the consequences of what they're doing and how it actually, in reality, affects their body. People aren't being given that kind of information. They're either being given spook stories and hoaxes that are scare tactics or a total whitewash. The way we will actually protect our society from drugs is by giving people accurate, nuanced information that allows them to responsibly make choices. Because as soon as they realize that you're lying to them, they will throw everything you have said out the window, the baby and the bathwater. My favorite quote on this subject comes from the former mayor of Baltimore, Kurt Schmoke, who said that you cannot solve a public health problem with a law enforcement strategy. I don't think that anyone has ever summed up the problem and the solution and the road to the solution to drug culture in the Western world more succinctly or perfectly. We can see a clear way to the end of this situation. So what's the problem?